Oh, let's go.
And cut the podcast.
And cut. Episode's over. What the? I got pink lights up here. All right, so. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the StreamSix Academy Podcast, where we present information for streamers and content creators to grow your content from the ground up, in the trenches, activating you with information, secrets, tips, tricks, both from industry experts and our own experience. We are excited to be presenting you episode number 4. We are cruising. My name is Sam Hall, known online as Baxcast. I'm going to bring in the co-host, the one, the only, Camera Tim.
Hello.
Tim, welcome in. What's up, homie?
Oh, there's a lot of things that are up, including my computer nearly exploding last night.
Dude, your computer was blue screening.
Oh,
You're
like
blue
over
screen
and
for
over.
what, 4 hours?
At 4
hours last night.
It was like from 9 to 1 in the morning, yes. I like put a blast out on I put a blast out on Facebook, like, calling all IT professionals, help me. It was a little bit more delicate than that, but yes, that was essentially what I said.
I feel like you would get help, though, if you said that way.
And I
right?
did.
Like, if you just put out...
help me, yes.
No holds barred alert. For those who are unaware, StreamSix is an indie platform looking to change the way that people interact with streamers and their community. So looking to change that with Six's Stream Interactive Experiences. These are social interactive experiences where you can get together, play different games, Race Day Rampage, Bingo, Marbles. Think of the way in which you can interact with your viewers in these ways. Trying to revolutionize that. And, of course, you are always a part of the conversation. So please, if you have feedback, if you have thoughts, if you have questions, drop them in the comments below if you're watching this on YouTube, or go ahead and message us on Discord or Twitch if you are listening to this on Spotify or... what do they say? Wherever you get your podcasts. Yeah, that's it. That's the line. Today, we're going to be talking a little bit about monetization, but as always, just talking about in the trenches, the battles of streaming and content creation. And today's guest, very, very happy and excited to introduce the 8BitDrummer. If you haven't checked out their stream or their YouTube content, you at 1 million yet? You were close last I checked.
972, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Ooh. I'm really close. I'm super excited about it.
Almost
Hello.
there.
Yeah. Thank y'all so much for having me. I appreciate y'all reaching out and having me on. And Tim, I mean, you've been a part of my cast for a long time.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
since 2015, I think.
Yeah, you're the reason why my cast.
Yeah,
you're the reason why my cast actually looks pretty decent, because you gave me the LUT filter. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm running like the Blackmagic Pocket Cam or whatever.
Right, the Pocket 4K. Yeah,
dude, that sucker looks so bad until we put that LUT filter on there, man. It's like, it's ridiculous.
It makes a difference.
Tim is a genius when it comes to this stuff. It's ridiculous. It's crazy. It's crazy. One of the most helpful people that exists. And that's, why he's on the podcast. It's great. For people who may not know, maybe they haven't stopped by, like, what do you do? Tell us about yourself, your content, and what your game is.
Yeah, I play drums on the internet, and that's basically it. So I've been streaming on Twitch for about almost 8 years now. It'll be 8 in May, and been doing YouTube stuff for 6 years comparatively, and just been having a good time doing it. I'm all about having fun and like making a place where people can just enjoy themselves and just enjoy the music, enjoy the vibes, enjoy the chaos. And I'm happy that I'm able to make a living doing it. So yeah, that's basically me.
Yeah, I mean, modern day living. I mean, I drum on the internet for a living, and it's like, if you had said that to somebody 50 years ago, they'd be like, I don't even know words you're saying. But that is like not only a job, but a lucrative opportunity, like in this day and age. It's kind of funny how it's changed, right? Like
What my wife tells people is really funny. She says that I'm an online male entertainer. Even though, and that's technically true, but
it's technically true.
Yes, it's accurate.
That is her favorite thing. You should see the faces at some of the ladies, like at the church, whenever she tells them that. It is the funniest thing in the world. and then we have to like pull out the phone and show her a YouTube video of me playing drums, and they're like, "Oh, I get it. Okay."
Yeah,
she's a treasure.
The less context, the less context, the better, typically, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's pretty funny. So what? Okay, out of curiosity, I just noticed you said you've been streaming for about 8 years, YouTube for about 6. So YouTube came after you decided to get into live streaming. Right now, at least by the numbers, I think you were close to 500,000 followers on Twitch, and then your YouTube subscribers almost at 1 million. So YouTube seems to be, even though it was the second thing you did, it seems to be doing just that much like better. People are all over your videos right now.
So that right there is one of the things I'd love to talk about whenever it comes down to like monetization and how to grow a stream, because like there are so many avenues that you should be taking whenever it comes down to building, other than just putting time in for streams. Also, if my camera is a bit weird, I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with it. But yeah, that's definitely a thing. Cause so whenever it comes down to like subscriber count versus follower count on Twitch and YouTube, it's like they don't really mesh in the same way, if that makes sense. Like it doesn't really extrapolate to the same amount of people watching, if that makes sense. Because like I have 420,000, which funny number, on Twitch, but like yeah, I average around 600 to 800 people, right? Because that's the amount of people that can watch. That does, like, your follower count really does not extrapolate to viewers, like daily viewers, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. So as far as, I mean, talk about that. Like let's just get into it, since you already mentioned it. Like monetizing something. Let's look at a transition point. So going all the way back to when, you know, what you might have started as a hobby. I know that's what got me in before I became a full-time content creator, and now I make a living off of it. But like you know, the idea of I'm going to do this just for fun, and then you see that turning point. Whatever that turning point is, talk about what that was for you as far as your content career.
So whenever I first started, like I was just I was streaming out of the back of a church building that we were using for a youth group type deal. And I had 1 meg up, 10 meg down internet. It was awful.
How did you stream?
I was living up to the 8-bit name. Let me tell you what. Oh my god.
There was a theme from the beginning.
Role playing the 8-bit name.
Oh yeah. So that was ridiculous. But that just goes to show you could start with anything. It doesn't matter what equipment you have. You can make it happen if you want to. Now, I started streaming because I just wanted to get my mind off of an iffy situation that I was in. And it turned into one of the craziest freaking things I've ever done with my life. And I'm very thankful for it. Whenever it comes down to like, what was the main question in that though?
Like the transition from I'm doing this just to like get away. How do we turn that into income? Yeah. What about that rotation?
That's right. So, well, I was working as an IT guy. Like I was running a small IT business in my hometown, basically in-home computer repair, which was cool until it wasn't. And then I was doing that for about a year and a half. When was it? Yeah, I was doing that for about a year and a half while I was doing live streaming as well. I started streaming right whenever the music section had opened up on Twitch, like right when that happened. So I had a really good opportunity there to, you know, kind of burst out the gate. And I was actually partnered in 2 months. I had Twitch partnership in 2 months, which was ridiculous.
What? Yeah. It was fast. It really was.
Wow.
Yeah, no, it was stupid fast. And it was because of the fact that I was doing something that nobody else was doing, and I was doing it consistently. I'm not going to say well, because my God, it looked like a mosaic painting. But that was the main thing. It's like, the moment that I realized that, hey, I can do this for a living, was about a year and a half in, because of the fact that I started making more money with the stream than I did with my regular job. So, and I wasn't making that much with my regular job to begin with. So whenever that threshold crossed, I was like, all right, so I think I can make this happen. So I went for it. And I ended up really cutting down. I only had like a couple of like really nice clients who I actually enjoyed working with. I wasn't taking any new clients, but I slowly transitioned into just doing the Twitch thing, and then slowly into the YouTube thing about 6 months after this time, because one of my mods was like, hey, you should really upload your stuff onto YouTube as well. And I'm like, nah, I don't need to do any of that. So I did it. And it turned out to be one of the best decisions that I made, because at least 70 to 80% of my visibility comes from YouTube, which is really ridiculous. YouTube is literally a funnel to bring people to Twitch for me. honestly, it's as easy as cutting up your content into small bite-sized pieces and uploading it, and like making a catchy thumbnail and a fun title, and that is it. Because like I don't do any pre-recorded stuff. Well, I'm sorry, I don't do any edited what is the word? Scripted. I don't do anything scripted. I don't have any scripts. I don't have any type of like pre-done stuff. It's literally my stream. I just make it look really pretty on YouTube, and we're pushing 1 million. That doesn't make any sense, and I'm really glad that it doesn't. I'm really glad that it's worked out, because of the fact that like you can like, and I try to tell people all the time, it's like, take your stuff and put it on other platforms. That is probably that's going to be like one of the main things that I say for monetization and to grow your stream. That's probably one of 3 that I have. I have like 3 main points. One is diversify. You don't have to stream for 8 hours a day in order to make a living on Twitch. Stream for 4 and take the rest of those hours and use that to make other content to put up on other platforms, because that's where your reach is. Like there's reach on Twitch. Like every now and then people come in and be like, hey, I found you in the music section. I'm like, what were you doing there? You know, it's like, right. That's the thing. There's really not too much discoverability on Twitch. Right. And that's kind of like a known thing.
Correct. Yes.
So your one of your main jobs as a streamer, balancing everything else, is to be your own social media guy, and make sure that you are utilizing the tools of the platforms that they have, because YouTube with the community tab is absolutely fantastic, especially if you have like a community on YouTube already. And you want to let people know that you're streaming on Twitch, utilize that community tab to let them know. Because I have people come in from YouTube all the time now, because I'm finally utilizing that and saying, hey, I'm live, but I have something fun to go with it. Like I let people pick the next video that I do, or I have just a fun little poll or whatever the heck, you know, just you have to make it fun. You don't want to just be, I'm live every single day, you know?
Yeah, because then you become redundant really quickly. Yes. I mean, yeah.
Well, you see those like Twitter feeds, and those Twitter feeds, it's like, I'm live. I'm live.
That's not discoverability.
Like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So there's so many good nuggets that you were bringing up there. Like I have like 3 different questions just from that, like the whole statement. But like I think you bring up a really good point with the diversification of content. Like that's something that I think we're finally starting to see the fruits of for a lot of content creators and stuff. But it's interesting that you kind of like accidentally stumbled upon that because one of your mods told you, hey, post content on YouTube and stuff. But that was like really before people were talking about diversify your content so you can grow, like spread people out to different platforms and stuff. So that's, I think you caught it on the right front. But I did want to go back to what you were saying about the risk you were taking, because I think in order to make this a lucrative career, there has to be some element of risk, right? There has to be some element of like you're going for this, and like not saying you don't want to have a fallback, but you are taking a gamble where if it doesn't work out, you're going to have to build up from the ground up. So talk a little bit about like what taking the risk really means for you, and like how you've made it worth the risk.
Well, any entrepreneurial adventure that you go on will have risk, because you have nothing to fall back on, basically. If you are doing a business, if you are doing like an online shopping thing, if you're doing freelance photography, if you're doing anything, that all comes with risk. And that risk is nobody will buy your product. Nobody will interact with your product. And that is a risk that every single entrepreneur takes. And that is what you are as a streamer. You're an entrepreneur. You're trying to make something for yourself, out of yourself. And it's a really awesome thing. But I definitely recommend not quitting your day job, as funny as that saying is.
Right.
Don't do it until you see that you can be sustainable with the situation that you're in. There's so many people that push for partner on Twitch. And like nowadays, there's really not that big of a reason to do that, because affiliate gets everything that partner gets except for exclusive access at TwitchCon and extra emotes. You have everything that a partner has, basically. And one of my best friends is actually the top paid affiliate on Twitch, and he makes more money than 99% of partners. It's insane. He's an affiliate because of the fact that he has a community that that supports the frick out of him, like legit. Yeah. And that's the thing. He has like 40 to 50 viewers, but he doesn't have the partner check mark, but he doesn't need it because of the fact that he is making bank off of like having a reason to be supported, if that makes sense. People love his content, people love him, and he has a really awesome way of pushing that monetization. So like that's the main thing.
Just to attach to this, like this is something in the in Marbles on Stream. Are you familiar with Marbles, with the Marbles on Stream game? Okay, so there's a lot of people, like there's a lot of streamers in that community, and that's actually where I got my partnership to Twitch from. It was streaming Marbles, and then there are a lot of smaller communities that have 10, 20, 30 viewers consistently that are very successful at creating income because they get this support structure of people who know what they're showing up for, they know what they want, and then they get there. There's a lot of excitement. They run events. To your point, like right now the partnership like benefits over the top of being an affiliate, they aren't so huge that, I mean, I guess it's just the swagger of the check mark, right? There's a little bit of that online swagger as far as that's concerned.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest problems that people run into with partner push is like once they get to that, like that was their goal. But because of the lack of perks that comes with it, like once they reach that goal, well, then what? And then you see all these partners, right? Then like all these partners just sink right back down to like 20, 10 viewers, like some of them even lower, because they don't have anything else that they're doing with it. Like partnership, sure, it can be a goal, but it wouldn't be like, I personally don't think it should be like a primary goal of a streamer. Like, hey, I reached Twitch partner, now I've made it. Like, no, that's just a stepping stone to get to where your content should be.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like subscriber count on YouTube or anything, honestly, whatever platform you're on. Everything's a stepping stone, you know, like Twitch partner is not the end all be all. That's just the beginning in certain situations, or it might not ever happen at all, but you can still make a really awesome community filled with wonderful people who will support you, you know, like whenever I remember back whenever I hit 100,000 on YouTube, I was like, oh man, this is incredible, but I don't want to stop. You know, I don't want to stop. This is not my goal. I want to hit 1 million. I want to hit 2 million. I want to hit whatever. And I'm the same way on Twitch. Like I always want to grow. And that's that spirit, right? Like that's the spirit of entrepreneurship as it is. It's you want to continue on. There's never like, and this is where it gets dangerous. There's never a number big enough. You know, for that entrepreneurial spirit, there's never a number big enough, but you have to be able to, because that's a dangerous thing. To always want more. What you have to do is you have to take that energy and turn it into a healthy want more instead of just, hey, I want this for me. I want this for me. Instead of doing that, you have to be like, what can I do for others with what I'm doing? Because like, that's my second point for growth is to give something back. Like that right there is the main thing. Something that that I try to get. I try to tell people all the time. It's like, please, with whatever it is that you make, give something away. Do charity streams. Like give away on your own time. Whatever it is that you're doing, like make sure that you are doing some type of charitable thing in your own time. Whether that's just giving money away or time away or whatever. It is so fulfilling, and that keeps you out of the mindset of, oh, I need more, because instead of more for you, it's, hey, if I get this, then maybe I could throw like this charity event and something like that. It's like, it's shifting that mindset from what can this do for me to what can I do for others, which is super, super important. And now, yes, whenever you're streaming, you're trying to make a living and stuff. And yeah, you're definitely down, but you're down for making, money for yourself. But at the end of the day, it's like, what value are you bringing as well? Like what type of value are you bringing? Are you like one of my favorite things that I get is whenever people send me like a DM or if they're resubbing or whatever, and they're like, I just want you to know that my day was crap, but you have made my day better. That is a way that you're giving back. Right.
Right.
So, yeah.
I'd like to offer a little push on this and see what your thoughts are. So let's take what you're saying and let's apply it to that person who, streams maybe part-time 2 or 3 days a week for an hour and a half to like 2 people. So how would you apply the give back principle to somebody who doesn't have a lot of resources to do so? Or maybe they're streaming to zero, or maybe they want to get into it, but they don't know if they'll be able to give back. Like, what about those challenges in the mindset of people who have no ability to do things at the level that you or us who are on the podcast or a lot of others are able to? What would you tell them?
So I would tell them that you're just getting started. Everybody starts at 0 viewers. Everybody. Sometimes people stay at 0 viewers for longer, and that's okay. I think that like the most important thing is that you're having a good time. You know, if you are streaming to 0 viewers, that like I can't say that it will change, but I'm saying that it can. You know, like I'm saying that it can, and that is why it's so important to once again diversify your content. Because if you have 0 viewers here, then you might have a couple hundred viewers on YouTube. You might have a couple thousand viewers on TikTok. God forbid. It's like there are so many different ways that you can get your content out in front of people. And the main parts is just you have a good time, do your research, see what's working. You don't always have to follow trends or anything like that because virality is very fleeting. And when you're just starting out, yeah, you're going to be streaming to 0 people, but take that content that you're making and turn it into entertainment. Okay. Like that's something that there's a phrase or the title content creator. I don't really like calling myself that because I don't want to just make content. I want to be an entertainer. I want to entertain and I want to provide value for people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's one of the main things for me.
Yeah, kind of tying this back. So we talked to a guy named Dreezy a few weeks ago, and one of the big things that we kind of all three collectively hammered home was that we're all coming at content from different perspectives. We all have different specialties and different niches and stuff. But the biggest thing that you can always see other people that have better skills than you do. But there's always something that you can contribute to somebody else. Like, let's say somebody's been editing for 6 months, right? They've only been video editing for 6 months. Well, they already have something they can contribute to somebody who hasn't edited at all. Like, instead of comparing yourself to the person that has like 10 years of experience, like see what you can still provide for other people with what you are able to provide, because you can still provide value wherever you're at.
So here, let me, that's a perfect point. I am very thankful that whenever the Twitch leaks came out in 2021, I think it was, it was shown that I was the number 99th most successful streamer on Twitch, number 99.
Top 100. Congrats.
Yes,
you broke the top 100. Let's go.
So here's the thing though. There's always going to be somebody above you. There are 98 people that are above me, you know? And like those thoughts come in your head. It's like, man, maybe I could do better. Like, oh man, why am I not number 52? Why am I not number 47? You know, it's like, those are the types of thoughts that come in whenever you're doing this type of thing. Whenever you're doing the entertainment thing, because trying to appeal to both audiences and algorithms and stuff like that, the human mind is not set up for this type of thing. We are not set up for the never ending stream of dopamine that we get. And that's the thing. You have to just be cool with where you're at right now and be happy with the value that you are providing, to the people that are willing to watch, because there are 8 to 9 billion people on this planet, and over like, I think 2 billion have internet access, right? Or something close to that. And there will be people that enjoy you for you. You just have to find them, you know, or they have to find you. Actually, they have to find you. And, to the people that are streaming with 0 to 1 to 2, if you're streaming to 0, don't give up. And diversify, put your stuff out there on other platforms, let them find you and come to you in that way. For those who are streaming to 1 and 2, and those who have people that talk to them in their channel all the time, I would say really push into those people and be like, hey, I appreciate you, and stream for them. Like, how can I put it? It's like, something that you can do to show your appreciation to the one that has been watching for a while, maybe can't sub, throw a sub their way for a month. You know, it's just, it's like, it's $5 and that shows that viewer that, hey, I appreciate you, you know? And that is one of the main things, like showing your appreciation. Doesn't have to be monetary, but showing your appreciation to the people that are watching is super, super important. Saying thank you. That's it. You know, saying thank you for people watching. Never have it be a forced thing. It's like, hey, you have to be here. It's like, no, you don't. People have lives, you know? So, right. Yeah. And people, and this right here is another thing. Twitch is not inclined to help you. And that's okay, because Twitch is a platform. Twitch is not a person. Twitch is not, it's a bunch of people that make they are in the business to make money. Okay. You have to be willing to accept that Twitch is never going to throw you a bone, and that is okay, because you get to choose how you react to that. You could either be like, wow, Twitch sucks or whatever, or YouTube sucks, they don't help out small creators, or you can carve that niche and make your way through it and show them right. Who's boss. You know, it's like, you can make this happen. And like, I have faith that y'all can, you know, like, there are some of the nicest people online that are streaming to like 5 to 10, 2 to 5 people. There are some of the nicest people online. And this is why, like, me as a creator, oh my God, my cat, me as a creator,
my dog's been over here whining like constantly.
Yeah.
So I
don't, my kids are out of the house, so I'm good.
Like, I don't give a frick about viewer count. That's the number one thing, is like, God, hide your viewer count. Don't look at that sucker, because you don't need to know how many people you're streaming to. It's for the people that are watching, stream for them. And golly, man. Yeah. That is the one thing that I wish that I was told whenever I was like a young buck in the streaming scene is turn off your freaking viewer count. You can hide that sucker by clicking on it and like, just never even worry about it, because
if anybody, if people are coming over from the last episode 3, we talked about this, and now you're just hearing the corroboration. You know, you're hearing it where turn off that viewer count. Look at who's there right now. Look at who the people are. We just got done talking with Spoo in episode 3, and his whole thing, like, one of the major takeaways is, if you're always looking at the numbers, if you're always looking at who's doing better, if you're always looking at the next thing, that's fine. But you are missing the present moment of those 2, 3, 5, 10, 20, 50, 100, 1,000 people who are sitting there in your space saying, hey, I am here and I am a part of this, and I'm glad to be here. Don't miss the opportunity to connect with those people. You know, that's huge. And so that's just a really good point. I'm glad you said that, just to bring it up as a means, because we did just spend an entire episode talking about community and community building and what it's like to connect with people. And here you're offering this same unsolicited advice, like, be in the moment when you're streaming, be there with the people who show up and say hi. Yeah.
And that is another reason why I'm such an advocate for shorter streams too, because if you're streaming shorter, you can be on for longer, or like at 100% for the whole stream, instead of like 60 to 80% for most of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Cause like I am blown away by the amount of hours people stream now. It's just well, I mean, it's always kind of been that way, but it's like, man, I do 3-hour streams. If I could be an advocate for this, I do 3-hour streams every time. And I've been doing 3 hours. Even my gaming streams are 3 hours. And I've been able to make a living doing this, a good living, a very good living, and a successful career out of this, streaming 3 hours at a time. And I am absolutely for that, because God, you can burn yourself out so fast. Like, even doing like the extra stuff in my off time, that burns me out. Like I was trying to learn how to do like short form content, like in the form of YouTube Shorts and TikTok, which TikTok is very stressful for me, so I don't really do it too much anymore.
Right.
And it's
a stressful platform. Like, to be very clear,
it's always, you have to be always on. If you're not always on, then it's just, you're not able to make anything with it. But like, Twitch is a beautiful thing, because you have to be on, but not always, you know? Like, you don't have to be doing 8 to 10 hour streams a day in order to make a living. You could do 3 to 4 and then take that extra time to put your content somewhere else, so that your content, like, let your content work harder for you. Let your videos and your entertainment work harder for you, period.
Right.
Because you can't always be online, but those videos can be.
Right.
You know?
Okay.
Don't just depend on the VODs on Twitch. Make your own repository in the form of smaller content on YouTube.
Yeah, what would you say? Like, this is something I want to ask, and I think this is a good segue moment to talk about, like, the niche of content that you're creating as a means of looking towards building towards monetization. So you mentioned earlier in the show, the music category pops up, and you're one of the exclusive streamers in this category who is putting in the time and the effort. Obviously, you know, that certainly played a role as a variable. How big of a role it played, you know, we don't know, but it certainly helped to be like, people want to go search for music, and here you are drumming away. For people who are getting into it, people who are hopping into content, they're hopping into streaming. What would you say? How important is a niche versus somebody who's like, I'm going to be the next big Fortnite streamer? You know, obviously they're jumping into a saturated market, and that's going to come with its own setbacks. As far as diversifying content, we're talking about putting content out in other places. How important is it that the content itself has like a unique capacity, or is it just about the quantity rather than the quality?
So I am a quantity boy. I put out a video a day on YouTube because I play like 15 to 30 songs on cast every time I go. So I'm able to do that. You know, I'm able to find all those different songs and make specific videos out of them. I am in a very interesting position where I'm able to do that. Not everybody's able to do that. And that's why that's why having a niche is really, really important, because, man, it's so saturated. The market is so saturated, dude.
Right.
Like, yeah. I can go and find five drummers on Twitch right now who do the same exact thing as me.
Right.
What do I do that's different than everybody else? What do I do? I would say that I am very simple. I have one camera, and I don't really have too many bombastic effects. Okay. And that works well for me because I'm a very simple person. Shout outs to Mr. Greggles, who has one of the craziest freaking setups. Yeah. He has one of the craziest setups. I can barely make this freaking camera work. Okay. So I'm playing to my strengths. Right. My strengths are, I'm very simple, so I make that into my stream. Secondly, I love stupid humor. I love laughing at memes. That's why most of my alerts are memes, you know, like the Wario laughing and stuff like that. But because I like it, because it makes me laugh, it makes other people laugh. Oh, yeah.
It's a huge thing in your chat. Like, every single time there's like a 10 sub bomb or 15 sub bomb or whatever, it's like,
yeah, you get Wario screaming
every time. Yeah.
And that's the beauty of it. And I love it, so other people can enjoy it, you know? And I think that's one of the most important things too. It's like, let yourself enjoy things, man. Oh, yeah. Like, just let yourself enjoy what you're doing. If you add something and it doesn't work, don't be afraid to change it, you know? Just enjoy what you're doing. One of my favorite quotes is the difference between cringe and comedy is confidence. And let me tell you what, I do some cringy crap on my stream, but I do it with confidence, and it turns it really funny. You know,
that's so really true. Does. That's actually like, that hurts how true that is. Just to think about like,
it's one of the
cringe things. It's like, you can sense that they don't feel comfortable doing it when they do it, and that's why it's cringe. Like, with the confidence that just pushes through and doesn't care what the result is, it's like, oh, suddenly that's actually kind of funny.
Yeah, no, it's perfect because it breaks through that. Ooh, okay, he's actually having a good time. Oh, this is great. I can laugh with him instead of laughing at him. You know what I'm saying?
To be clear, there are still cringe things. Like, still, like, cringe factor is still a real spectrum.
Oh, absolutely. And that's what it is. It is a spectrum. Like, for real. But that is a true thing, because people will go into streams sometimes and be like, oh, this is cringe or whatever. And people can kind of sense that somebody's not 100% like cool with themselves doing what they're doing. And that's a bit of a shame, because, like, one of my favorite things about Twitch as a whole is the difference in everybody. Everybody on this planet's different. Everybody has a different type of like vibe. Everybody has a different color. You know, it's like that they love, you know, like you can base an entire personality around a color scheme if you want to. Like, there's so many different things that you can do. Like, light blue is my favorite color. So I have a VTuber avatar of a bunny boy. And he has light blue frosted tips hair and light blue bunny ears because it works for me. And that's what I like. So I don't want to be like, unhappy with something that I'm using every day. Like, why would you do that? Why would you put yourself in this situation? Because it's your stream. Don't put yourself in a situation where you're uncomfortable. There's no need. Like, if you're working like a job that's a bit harder, like, yeah, you have to do that stuff. But whenever it's your thing, whenever it's your stream or your entertainment, make it the way that you want. Like, you are unique and you can make something that's never been seen before.
Let me offer as just as a curiosity, let me offer some pushback. Like, what about the person who what they enjoy doesn't get viewers? Is this about what their goal would be? Is like, if you're trying to be big, if you're trying to grow these numbers, you should do maybe something you don't enjoy at first, or would you push back and say, no, do what you enjoy anyway?
A bit of both, honestly. Like, don't sacrifice yourself for views. Don't sacrifice yourself for content. Like don't do that. There's so much that you can bring to this world, and you don't need to like tourniquet who you are in order to get viewership. Now, on the other hand, yes, the algorithms and different things, they prefer certain things. There's a saying that I like to use whenever I am I'm a saying guy, dude. I
love it. Yeah, keep them going. It's great. Listeners, be taking notes.
Yeah, I do a thing on YouTube specifically that's one for me, one for them. Okay. So there are some songs that I play that I'm like, God, okay, that was all right. But I will upload them on YouTube, even though I'm not 100% like, yo, this is my favorite type of jam. I will upload it because I know that people enjoy it. And I know that will get viewership. Right. And then there are songs and stuff that I know that's not going to get viewership at all, but I'm uploading it for me because it's one for me. Sometimes you get really lucky, and in the form of the game Pizza Tower, that music pops off on YouTube and I love the music. So those it's one of those things that's both at the same time. It's one for me, one for them, but it's put together. So you can find those different things, right? Like you can find those different things that work out and find them. Like, let's say you're a Fortnite streamer. You could have something that you do. There's a really, I can't remember if he's a Fortnite streamer or not, but there's a guy who every single time that he got a kill, he would throw a rave.
Oh, I remember this guy.
Okay.
I've seen this guy before. Yeah.
Like, I don't know how sustainable that is, but that right there sticks out in my mind.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Right.
Like
we're talking about it, right? We're talking about it.
You can take something that you love and make it bombastic or make it like the most chill thing ever. And it will stand out. And that's one of the hardest things to do in a sea of streamers and content. How are you the little flag on a boat in the sea that people can see, right? It's the purple elephant rule. It's like, how do you stand out? And that, I don't really know how I can give advice for that, because standing out is something that you have to figure out will work for you, that is sustainable for you, and also something that you enjoy. And now, like, one of my main things that I tell people whenever they ask me, hey, how do I get into content creation? I have the Triforce of streaming. Okay. And the Triforce of streaming it's 3 triangles. One of them is have fun, do it in moderation, and do it consistently. Having fun, easy. Doing it in moderation, that means don't be afraid to moderate your chat, and also make sure you have a schedule that is sustainable. Because if you're doing something in moderation, it's not going to burn you out. And then you have consistency. Do it consistently. Don't hope for the virality, because virality is fleeting. You're going to see that go up and go right back down. And that has a worse effect on your psyche than you have any idea. But what you want is a graph that goes like that. You want a graph that goes up at like a 30-degree angle, like super. Well, I think that's right. Whatever. It's one of the lines. But I'm bad at math. But yeah, you want something that is very, very clearly moving upwards at a slow pace. You don't want to go super fast. Well, you can grow super fast, but you want to make sure that it's a sustainable thing. You don't want it to just be like, woo, and then go right back down. You know, you don't want that.
Yeah, because that's well, I mean, that's often what happens with people that like get that overnight viral success. I mean, I don't know why this one came to mind, but you remember the developer of Flappy Bird, like definitely didn't intend for that game to shoot up as fast as it did. Yeah. But as soon as it did, like, sure, he didn't know how to handle it. He didn't know how to handle it. It nearly ruined his life. Like that's a crazy thing about virality is like yes, it's very fleeting. Like you have overnight success, and now can you even manage it's like even more than a life change, really. So it's like I've seen that happen a couple of times too. I'm not going to call out names or anything, but I've seen other streamers get a massive boost, making $35,000 a night, and then going back to like a lower amount, and it kills them inside because they want to get back to that crazy high that they were at, and it's nuts. Now, whenever it comes back down to the Triforce of streaming I was talking about, have fun, moderation, consistency, there's a fourth spot inside, which is the upside down triangle in between. Okay, and that
Illuminati.
Exactly. No, that is luck. Luck is the fourth thing, and luck is a really interesting thing because luck is just opportunity that you are there for. Okay. And that's why consistency is so important. I'm not saying stream for 10 hours so that you can get that lucky break. No, but do something. If you're doing it consistently, the odds are in your favor that you will see success, but you have to be in the position to accept that opportunity. You know what I'm saying?
Another way that I say that is where operation meets preparation. Or opportunity, not the game operation. We're not getting operated on. I want to be very clear. That was
opportunity. Okay.
Opportunity meeting preparation. Like that is what luck is. And it's just it's not to say there's any guarantee, right? There's no little disclaimer at the end of the infomercial that's saying like, blah, 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 you're guaranteed. Blah, 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 blah.
Right. And I think there's something to be said about like you know the old saying like you have to be good to be lucky. Well, there's a sense of that where you have to be, it's not like you can just like go live for a long period of time and just hope that you get like a big raid or something, or hope that you get this big donation, because even if you did, that's still not sustainable for long-term growth.
I have had those raids, like as a when I was an affiliate streamer, and I get dropped on by like 5,000 people.
Yeah,
and I'm like, my life has changed. I did it. I'm here. Everybody's gonna love me. They're all gonna no. The next day, go back to streaming. I'm right back to 15. You know, just like boom, the next day, and that like was so defeating in my head to think that way. And it took so much work to get to the other side of saying, okay, it's not about like that. Isn't what makes it. It's about the consistency of entertainment and content that I'm creating. That is what's going to pull people in. The raid is cool. It's a moment though. It's just a moment. Enjoy it. Once again, this ties into what we were talking about, right? This is a present moment. Be there for the raid. Enjoy it. Oh, this is so cool. Welcome in everybody. Here's what's going on. And then don't dwell on the fact that like, if I am not the most entertaining person in this moment right now, my life's over. And that's what you see a lot of people. There's YouTube compilations of people getting raided and they're just like, oh my God, I just have to be the most crazy person right now because I don't know what to do with my life. Anyway, that
is something that I want to comment on as well. Is when you get raided, your job is to just be yourself and show people what they are in for. Like whenever I get raided, I will play a bombastic song because that is who I am. I want to show people what I got. You know, like you have 15 seconds to show people what you're all about. And a really awesome goal for a raid, like let's say you get raided by like 1,000 people. Your job is to convert one of them, one person from that raid to a regular viewer. That is it. That's all you really need. And it's not like per 1,000 or anything like that. It's just like if you can get one person from that raid to stick around and come back to your stream after you have gone off for 24 hours and come back, then you've won. You have won because you never know. That one raider might like your content so much that they drop, I don't know, thousands of gift subs on you. You never freaking know that. And I've had that happen where it's like, because of the fact that I was a part of certain things with other streamers, then I have a person from their community come in and is like, yo, I really like your stuff. Here you go. Here's over the course of 3 years, here's 6,000 gift subs. You know what I'm saying?
Sure,
like,
right.
It's like, oh my God. Like, but that is a really healthy goal to have from a raid, like a big raid, I would say. Not like if it's like 30 people, then, just have a great time with it. But if there's a massive raid in one of those really big time situations, your goal is to convert one of those people into a solid viewer.
And as a thought with that, if people are watching you connect, like let's say you just kind of pick somebody who's in the chat from a raid and they say, hi, how's it going? What's your stream about? And then you start talking to them and then they're talking back to you and you're responding and having a conversation through all the insanity going on. Other people are going to see the way that you're interacting with that one person. And they're probably going to pick up on that more so than if you were trying to like shake everyone's hand at the same time, because that's impossible. You can't do that.
Right.
So you just pick that one person and show that I'm conversing, I'm discussing, and this is an important thing for me to do as far as a relationship.
Yeah, it's well, whenever it comes down to that, like that's something that I do want to warn against is you're not creating, I would say, a relationship with an individual.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like parasocial relationships are very, very, very dangerous. They can be, at least. But what you can do is you can make a viewer streamer relationship. If you have those lines in the sand, then you can have rapport with people without building a friendship or a relationship with them. Like that, like rapport is something that people who are online all the time don't really understand. And that's why you get people coming in from like just randomly and they'll make a joke at the streamer's expense and then they get banned. They're like, why did I get banned? The other guy was able to say that. It's like, yeah, the other guy's been watching me for 3 years and has supported the stream and is actually really freaking cool to talk to. Right.
Right.
Rapport, very important. But when it comes down to like building up a community and stuff like that, when money gets involved, people can act like they have a bit of ownership over your content or over your stream. Don't allow that. Like, yes, say thank you. Be very be happy that people are supporting your content and loving it, but make sure you have those lines in the sand. I have banned my back in the earlier days of my stream. I had to ban the most generous person on my stream because he was treating people badly.
Yeah,
and
geez.
that hurt that hurt me to do that because this dude was, and I wish him all the best. Like I have no problems with him now. Like we've, it's come about, but like I had to do that and I had to put somebody else's good time over my own pocketbook. And sometimes you have to do that. Do people say pocketbook anymore? Wallet? I don't know. Like, I'm showing my age, man. I'm 32.
It's good. It's good. It's great.
We're all
you don't want to.
How am I the youngest one in this room?
You are the youngest one in the room, dude. What's up? Wow.
Bro, I went to a cafe the other day. And the guy that was working there was 18. I'm like, oh my God, dude, you look very mature for your age. Like I told him you looked like 21, 22. And he's like, thank you. And I'm like, how old do you think I am? That dude said 21, and I have never been more flattered in my life, dude. I was like, bro, I am 32, and he looks at me like, what?
Yeah, amazing.
I'm very, very thankful to have that baby face, man. Let me tell you.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, wear it with pride.
Yeah, I can't grow a beard, so I'm stuck with this.
I mean, all this kind of
it's amazing.
Hey, some's got it and some ain't. Just kidding. So anyways, I actually kind of want to pivot this a little bit because I think a lot of what you're speaking about comes from an aspect of humility, because I think that's a big there's a lot of tech aspects and numbers and stuff when it comes to Twitch, YouTube, and just creating content in general. But I think people don't focus on the personality enough and like how important it is to have that humility. Like even when I was in your stream before you were partner, like your stream has kind of changed. It's changed drastically in some sense, and it hasn't changed at all in some aspects. But through the entire thing, and this is just kind of prop you out, the one thing I've seen you do is like you are just so happy that people are there that you want to give back. And I think that shows a huge aspect of humility that a lot of streamers don't realize is so vitally important to not just building community and not just building rapport, but means that you are providing value to people in a way that I don't even think it's something that the whole world really needs.
And that right there, it's one of my core values is to spread love, right?
Right.
Not everybody's going to be as bubbly and crazy as me, and that's okay. You know, like there are different personality types. There's melancholy people. There's really like hardcore, like no joking people, and that's okay. And that's why, like, I'm always about, play to your strengths, make your stream about you and how you react to stuff. Right. I've seen streamers that are very, very successful who, basically their chat just eggs them on the entire time. And that's perfectly fine because that's what they want. That's who they are. And, that wouldn't be sustainable for me, but it's sustainable for them. And if they thrive in that environment, I mean, more power to them. If they're taking care of their family, then that's fine. But me personally, like, I've always been like my stream has always been about showing people the love first, and then like everything else has kind of come second. I want people to just be able to come into my stream and have a good time and just enjoy the music, enjoy the vibes, and just get away from the craziness of the world for 3 hours at a time. You know, like that is my main value, is spreading love, and showing people love, because like, and this comes now that I'm going to get a little bit more, I'm going to get a bit Christian-y here. It comes from a place of like, so because I have faith in Jesus, and a lot of people in this world, especially people that you find online, they're never going to set foot inside of a church, right?
Yeah,
they're never going to make that trek, and that's okay, because one of my things that I really love to do is infiltrate the marketplace, right? Is infiltrate and show people the love that they normally wouldn't see in that situation, and show them what I would like to call the love of God in a place where they were not expecting it. You know, like they might never step foot inside of a church, but I can show them love in my stream, and at my house. In my house, I'm going to be showing love. Right. And, I've had people actually reach out to me. It's like, yo, you're a Christian, but you don't judge people. You love, you show love to LGBTQ and everything. Like, why? And that right there is one of my favorite things, is because I get to explain why I do that.
Interesting.
And like, yeah, it's a really Christian-y thing, if you want to put it that way, but it's like, that is just me. That's one of my core values.
Well, I think I was just going to say, no, Jared, like, I know we've had these conversations like years ago, like you and I are kind of in the same boat. Like, like the first thing we want to do, like, we're not trying to go out and reach people and say like, hey, come to church and stuff. Like, no, we want to actually we just want to love people and actually be kind and be generous and actually show the love that Jesus was actually showing. Because
it ain't my job to convert. That's his job.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I just got to show.
Right.
So as the resident non-Christian on the podcast, like I think what's important to take away from this is personally like it is all about love. Like, that's the idea with streaming. Streaming is all about love. I mean, I'm an atheist, but that doesn't change the fact that everything that I want to see in the world is love. I want to see people love each other. I want to see streamers appreciate. I want to see viewers appreciate. I want to see connection, community. I want to see all those things, I still bring that, bring that forward. And I think the important thing to take away is from that is like, for you personally, faith plays a significant role, and that's really important. Others, if you don't have that same faith, that doesn't mean that you can't care about other people. And for the most part, it's to say that that's also not the way it works, right? Like, as an atheist, it's not like I don't have morals. Like no, I still have moral values and ethics. So
no, exactly.
Wait, you have feelings?
I start my stream and I'm just like, screw you guys, get out of my chat. It's like, it's just to say it is important to realize, and I think we can even tie this back to something we were talking about earlier, that the name, like parasocial, you call it the parasocial relationship, right? Like, the idea is that is a human being. And even if you don't want to get into the depth of a relationship because of the dangers, as you correctly mentioned, you're still looking at a human being. This is somebody who's literally taking the time to be in the chat with you. If it's one person, if it's just that one viewer, just connect like you're over coffee. I don't know. Like, that's like, come at this from a place of humility, like what we're talking about. And yeah, Christianity not required, I guess, is the way that I would kind of transition.
No, absolutely.
Like, because I think that's important. We're probably gonna have listeners, that are all over the scope. And the
absolutely.
Love is universal. And that's what
love
we
is
want. Universal.
Like, that's what we want. Is we want the diversification of, like, we want different perspectives. We want to hear a bunch of people coming in and like, I'm from this type of background. I'm from this type of background. This is type of person. This is how I grew up. Like, that's amazing, and that's exactly what building community is all about. Not to bring back episode 3 again, but
no, bring it back. We'll bring it back 10 more times by the end of the recording.
But it's just like, but I think it all comes back full circle. Like, going back to monetization and everything. Like, the numbers and the money and all of that, they are not the driving forces for why we're trying to spread love to people and actually be the streamers or content creators that we are and providing value to people. It's like, it's not because of the numbers and money. It's because we actually want to spread love and kindness to everybody, so that like, then we can actually make a living spreading love to other people.
So one of the core values that I have is if you build up someone, they will in turn help build you up. And one of the things is, like, I love the community that we have. Like, personally, the 8BitDrummer Discord has like a ton of members in it, and they do like a game night and stuff like that on Saturdays. I don't participate in that because I don't have the time. I'm exceedingly busy doing everything that I'm doing. And I also really want to hang out with my wife. I want to build a relationship with her. And that's okay. You don't have to be 100% on in your community in order to build a community. That's something like, whenever you're getting started, you'll spend a lot of time talking to people one-on-one. And as time goes, and if you end up growing, it becomes impossible to respond to every comment. It becomes impossible to respond to every DM or talk in Discord because it gets really crazy. People want to talk to you. They're like, oh my God, yes, it's you, and like, it becomes, they're not talking with you, they're talking at you. And that, like, I can't take that for very long. Like, it's like, the only thing is like, hey, Jared, hey, Jared, hey, because they have your attention.
Yeah.
And what I strive to do is I strive to give my community my undivided attention for 3 hours. And I give them all of it. I am not distracted by anything for 3 hours. I give them all of it. But whenever I'm offline, that is my moderation, you see? And it allows me to do this consistently because of the fact that I'm offline and I am, I have things outside of streaming that I do, whether it's drawing, writing, working out, or just hanging out with my wife, hanging out with friends, playing games. You have to have things outside of streaming in order to keep you grounded. You have to have a foundation. And it gets like and I've had this happen before. I've had panic attacks over streaming, mostly over TikTok, ironically, but like, actually it's only been over TikTok. Like, streaming's been okay for me. I'm okay with that. But like for example, doing that stuff for TikTok, being always on, trying to like work that algorithm and make it work. There's just something about that platform that does not click with me. So I'm not utilizing it. But what I am utilizing are platforms that are working for me, like YouTube. I've gotten off of Twitter because Twitter's all right. I don't really use it for work though. I just use it for like art and stuff. But YouTube and Twitch are my main money makers. So why am I not putting my attention towards the things that are actually helping me to move forward in life? So you can always try new things, right? I tried out TikTok, it gave me panic attacks, so I've stopped, like you can try new things, but whenever you find something that's working in the monetization sense, that's what you should be focusing on. And it's really easy to spread yourself too thin. Cause I mean, my God, how many platforms are there now? Like there's Twitch streaming, YouTube streaming, there's Instagram Reels, Instagram Live or whatever. TikTok, there's YouTube Shorts, there's so much crap that you can. Facebook, Meta,
it's a train wreck,
but like, there's so much that you can put your stuff out on. But as I said earlier in the podcast, make your videos work harder for you. Don't work harder trying to put it out everywhere. Like, get those videos out on places that have shown that, can grow and stuff like that. YouTube is a fantastic resource. Like, and something really cool about YouTube that I've seen recently, they're pushing smaller creators. Every now and then, if you're scrolling through YouTube, if you're just scrolling through the recommendeds, you'll see videos with a really weird thumbnail or no thumbnail at all that have 26 views. And that is YouTube trying to push new creators onto the platform. It's actually kind of like inspiring, because I see brand new people I've never seen before, who I've never even thought of, show up in my feed. And most of the time it's like, yo, this is Minecraft or whatever. But like, it shows that YouTube's algorithm is actually pushing out new people, and it can catch fire. And especially with Shorts, man. Shorts are kind of ridiculous for growth. Because of the fact that I have like a established fan base and they're used to my long form videos. Shorts don't really work too well for me specifically, but they might work well for other people. Like, I've seen people grow massive YouTube communities through Shorts, period. And it's actually kind of ridiculous because they're trying to beat TikTok, right? So they're pushing as hard as they can to be able to defeat them in that market. And that's the thing. Here's a pro tip. If you see a platform trying to beat out another platform, use the tools that they are promoting, because that's what they're going to promote. That's why the community tab was so good for a while. And then YouTube Shorts has been really good, because they're trying to beat somebody and they're going to put an extra power boost on that.
Yeah. Okay. Let's this is interesting. So we're looking at, as far as like YouTube subscribers and monetizing on YouTube, just to connect back real quick, you need 1,000 subscribers, right? You need 1,000 at minimum to be able to get that ad revenue. Looking at somebody who's getting into Twitch and YouTube simultaneously as a content creator, and they have maybe 1 or 2 viewers, maybe 0. But monetizing, right? You need to be an affiliate on Twitch. You need 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. You can obviously attack both these at the same time. What would be your advice and thoughts about somebody just looking to monetize in a side income way? Should you focus on Twitch and those subscribers and those affiliate numbers? Should you be focusing on getting that YouTube up to 1,000? Like, what are your kind of like, brick and mortar ideas about where you should pursue monetization early on?
It really depends on what your goal is. If you are wanting to if you want to do live streaming, do that. If you want to do edited content, do that. And pepper in the other one as you're going along. Now, for someone like me who is just doing live streaming, and that's where all of my content's coming from. Utilize both at the same time. Stream. Put your now, I'm not saying full VODs, but edit them down a little bit and then put them on YouTube, because here's one of the key things about using YouTube for Twitch. Your goal is to not get a subscriber per se on YouTube, but your goal is to send them over to Twitch, because on Twitch, the monetization options are right there in their face. On YouTube, you have memberships and stuff like that, but you can only really do like super thanks and things of that nature during a live stream on YouTube. But if you can bring over a YouTube person, like let's say you have like the monetization for ads, right? Or even if you don't, if you bring over somebody from YouTube and they subscribe, or if they drop a tip on you, a $5 tip, okay? The amount of increase that you just got is astronomical, because comparatively to that one view on YouTube where you're getting like maybe 1/100th of a cent, you have brought somebody over to Twitch and they have given you $5. That is a 1,000,000% increase in revenue right there. That is your goal, is to bring in people from other platforms watching you live so that you can monetize in that way. And there are side things that you can do. You can have a Patreon. You can have a coffee if you want to.
Right.
You can do all of those things, but it really depends. It really depends on what type of value are those extra things going to do. I awful at using Patreon and coffee. I am awful. I am really, really good at pushing monetization options that are on the websites that I am using at the time. So bits, subs, tips and stuff. Like even tips, I'm bad at doing tips, but subs and bits I got because of the fact that that's what I focus on, right? On YouTube, whenever I do YouTube streaming, which I do one a month because I want to reach out to that community as well. You can't do them at the same time, of course, because of exclusivity, but now Twitch allows you to stream on other platforms while you're not streaming on Twitch. So I do one of those and that helps my memberships go up on YouTube. And then because of the fact that I stream, those memberships stay on even though I'm not live every day. Like I could get more memberships, but then my, it's all about what can I do consistently. And I can do one YouTube stream and I can do 4 Twitch streams a week consistently, and I can do 1 YouTube stream a month consistently. That's what I can do. And it's asking a question, writing it down, pull out a sheet of paper. It's like, what is sustainable for me? And that is something that I recommend every creator to do is write down what you're doing. Keep track of your time that you are putting into editing and stuff like that. There's a really cool app called Toggle that you can see how much time you're putting extra outside of the time you're streaming. And I try to keep my YouTube stuff down to like 12 hours a month. So I have extra time to do stuff because I have to edit, I have to make the thumbnails, stuff like that. But when it comes down to getting started and whenever you're first starting, utilize, if you're on Twitch, utilize YouTube whenever you're getting started. You'll grow with time. If you look back through my videos, you'll see that my thumbnails were non-existent and then they kind of happened and now they're a lot better than they used to be. And you're always growing. You're always getting better at what you're doing. You're always honing your craft. Your first streams are going to suck. Your first streams are not going to have anybody watching, and that's okay because we all start at the starting line. And I don't know how your track looks. I don't know how many pitfalls there's going to be. I don't know how many awesome mountaintop moments there's going to be, but everybody's running a different track. So, man, just have fun doing it. Legitimately, just have fun.
A huge takeaway from what you just said, and this is something that I had to overcome ages ago, and it rings so true, and I still struggle with it on a day-to-day basis, is you literally just said, if you're uploading, like my videos didn't used to have thumbnails. I mean, there's an obsession with thumbnails, and rightly so for the aspect of getting eyes on your content. The thumbnail is the billboard that sells the video. Like if you see it, so there is something to be said there, but if you're looking at the path, you're saying, no thumbnails. I wasn't paying attention to the thing every single video says you got to pay attention to. And then I kind of paid attention to it. And now, years later, I'm paying I'm paying attention to it. But the growth pattern, like right now, it's so easy to go to a channel, to a stream, to content, to this thing. And you can see this super awesome looking, beautiful thing that they've been doing every single day for years. And you can think, if I'm not doing that, my content doesn't have value. And that's not the way to interpret somebody else's success, is that you can't provide value as a result of that, when in reality, your value is already there. And you just need to let people see that value. The people who enjoy that value will flock to you. They'll gravitate around you. They'll give you suggestions about what they love, and those things will build. But the monetization, like looking at it from the monetizing aspect, the idea is if you're providing value, the people who are receiving value, that's where you can look for those monetizing options. But it does take, the connection and the ability to just let loose, get some content out there. Take notes, like you're saying. I think that I'm going to be honest. I think that's a big one for a lot of small streamers and a lot of people who are growing in content and want to get into it. They're not writing down notes. They're not writing down how long they streamed. They're not writing down the results of these things. It's not to say focus on the numbers. It's to say take notes so you can analyze over long periods of time what's working and what's not working. A lot of people just hoping for that lottery,
Dude, I got a notebook right here on my desk. Like, I'm not going to tell people to do stuff that I don't do. I take a lot of notes whenever I'm like watching stuff on YouTube and whatnot. And I pick out what people are doing and what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And I try to figure out like, what the heck, how can I make this work for me? A really, really good channel that I recommend every YouTuber watch, is vidIQ.
Markiplier. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Sorry. My bad. I guessed wrong.
Markiplier is a really good example of how to find success for real.
It's true. It is true.
But if you're just getting started and you want to like power up your content, power up your videos a little bit, I use content. I don't mean to. vidIQ is a fantastic channel because it tells you like what to focus on, and I can give you a little bit of a bullet down version. Number one thing, your thumbnail is very important. Secondly, don't end the video with thanks for watching, because of the fact that will stop people from watching your next video, which will automatically play. If you say thanks for watching, it's like a thing in your brain to take somebody and they're going to be like, all right, what's next? But if you say, hey, like you don't even have to have an exit, like just say like, just end off the video normally, because it will automatically play the next video from them. From who you're watching. So never say thanks for watching, unless you're someone unless you're doing like a video essay, like Summoning Salt or something like that, because then you know that's the end of the essay. That makes sense. But if you're doing like Twitch content, there's no Twitch highlight content, there's no reason to be like, yo, thanks for watching. One of your main goals is to help people or to have people watch multiple of your videos. I'm getting off the track here. So main things, thumbnail, really important. Have it simple. Have your thumbnail simple. Have your face, the game you're playing, or a character from the game you're playing. That's all you need. You don't need any words. You don't need anything. And it makes it stand out in a realm of Mr. Beast thumbnails, where they're like, there's arrows and craziness and stuff like that. The more simple you can make it, the easier it's going to be.
That's interesting. You bring up that example just to say that Mr. Beast actually has like prided himself on having simple thumbnails. That he really actually he like really wants to have, here's a big red circle with my face on it, because he's like, people on mobile are going to be looking at this small little thing, And
that's one of the main things is like people, it's mostly mobile viewers. And that's actually why YouTube has been experimenting with different size thumbnails on the desktop apps or the desktop website, because they're trying to figure out like what brings people into and continues them watching. So if you're utilizing that, if you're utilizing a very simplistic thumbnail, that really helps with click-through rate. But back to it again, I'm going to go through them really quickly. Thumbnail, title is really important. And like, make it to where people can actually find your content. Like you don't need a clickbaity thumbnail like, oh man, I played drums to this song and check out how many blisters I have or something like that. You don't have to have that, because like make it like what your content is actually about. Because if you can build trust with the viewer that that is watching your stuff, and you're not like throwing them off, then they're going to continue watching your stuff, and they will be able to find your stuff later on. Third, do not have an intro on your channel. Do not have a channel intro in your video. Get straight to the content, because I said it again, get straight to the meat and potatoes of your video. Do not have like a branded intro. There's no reason. 55% of people stop watching a YouTube video after the intro. Okay. 55%. And it's because of the fact that it's like, there's no value in this moment. It's an elevator pitch. You have 15 seconds to keep people's attention. Don't use. So
why do people
intro.
do it? Why do people do it? What's your thought? Because it is. I mean, how many videos do you watch where I see a little cool little intro thing? Like, what's going on?
Here it is. Tradition.
It's
tradition. True. It is what everybody has done for years, and it doesn't work anymore.
Right.
Like
it used to, though. Like the idea is
really used to. Yeah, because it was very, very professional looking. Right. It was very professional. If you watch a Mr. Beast video, he doesn't have an intro, but what he does is he instantly hooks you, and he's like, I put 50,000 cans of Coca-Cola in this car. Look here's what happens. And then it goes straight into it. Right.
Right. Boom.
Like that is how he hooks you. And that is the type of thing that works really well on YouTube, is getting that hook, getting that elevator pitch out immediately. And you don't have the time to do that if you're doing an intro. Now you can do a cold open and then do an intro, but you want at least like 15 to 30 seconds of what the video is actually about. Boom, splash, then go into it.
Yeah, I take no longer than 5 seconds to tell what my video is about. I'll just say, hey, everybody, it's camera time. I'm going to show you how to color into resolve and stuff. And then it goes boom. I'm good.
Yeah, like you don't even need to introduce yourself it's this crazy now. You don't have to introduce yourself because we're living in the TikTok way, right? In the TikTok realm of time. And if you, once again, go back to Mr. Beast, I did this. That's it. Done. That's all he says. Right. And it's like, if you, dude, like not everybody is going to be able to be a Mr. Beast on YouTube. I understand that, but you can take so much information from how he does his videos and like spin it in your own way,
make it your own.
And it really helps because like I've taken the thumbnail approach for my videos because all my videos, let's be honest, are exactly the freaking same. I'm playing drums. I'm playing drums on the internet. That's it. That's what you're getting with me. How can I hook people to continue watching? Well, first of all, you got to get them in. That's what the thumbnail's for. And then I do the one for me, one for them, where I do like a meme or something. And then I do something for me because that keeps me happy. And then, but yeah, like there are a lot of different things that you can do for optimizing YouTube content. I could talk about it for hours. But those are my main things. It's like thumbnail, title, no intro, no outro. You can use an in screen though. You can use an in screen, but you make the in screen make sense. Like you can point to the video and be like, so if you want to learn more about this, check out this video right over here. And that you use those in screens and it's freaking brilliant because now people have something to go to. They have something to continue watching on. And a really important metric, and then I'll get off this topic. A really important metric is videos watched per session, because you want that number to be higher than 1. You don't want people to stop after just one of your videos. You want that number to be higher. So that right there is a very important metric to go and look at on your channel. If it's like 0.3, 0.4, that means people are stopping before they're done. If it's in the 2s or 3s, you're doing a fantastic job and continue what you're doing. Because views is not what it's all about anymore. There's a lot of other metrics that those vidIQ videos can go over that really make sense.
Yeah, that's kind of huge, I think, because like I think everybody's kind of focused on what's right in front of them and what they can see in terms of what content is on there, or what content people are watching on their channel. But I think what a lot of people miss is like why those views are there and like how retentive people are on your content as well. Like you could have one video that pops off, but what does that mean about retention for the rest of your videos? It doesn't really play in, and it doesn't help the rest of your videos if only that one video pops off, but it doesn't have any lead into any other videos, or there's no, like, again, like you said, diversifying and sending people over to different areas. I
mean, a way to look at that too is, I mean, how many videos are there on YouTube where there's like 3.2 million views, and if you look at the channel has 200 subscribers. Like the idea is they made a video and it hit and it was great. Maybe, I mean, and this isn't to say they did anything wrong. Maybe they just didn't care. They're like, I'm just going to upload this and I'm going to peace out. Like that's fine. But it's to say that just because a video pops, the consistency and longevity of your channel is dependent on the value that you're providing over a long period of time. So somebody goes to a channel and they don't see that you consistently upload, they're less likely to subscribe. They're less likely to be interested because they're like, oh, this is cool content, but they clearly don't have any kind of a schedule or consistency that I can trust. You brought that up earlier, trust, the idea of trusting that when I say I'm going to be live, when I say I'm going to release a video, you can depend on that. Right. And that's something I'm working on every single day. That's something I've been notoriously bad at. You're talking about like channels and what you focus on. I've always just focused on live streaming. I've never focused on pulling that over. And so for the last like year and a half, I've been learning what it's like to actually take my content and put it into online spheres. And it's crazy already what you can see as far as crossover, people coming over to Twitch and saying hi, people from Twitch coming over and watching the videos and subscribing. Right.
So I did a poll on YouTube the other day. And I asked the question, how many of y'all know that I'm a streamer on Twitch? 77% said I had no idea that you were a streamer.
Let's go. That's
77%.
Crazy.
Wow.
So
crazy.
I have people that come up to me at like conventions and they're like, yo, I love your YouTube. And I'm like, did you know that I'm on Twitch? And like,
where do you think it comes from?
It's actually kind of mind blowing that even though like all my stuff is branded, it doesn't really matter like how much you try to push over. sometimes people just want to stay on YouTube, and that's perfectly fine. And that's why it's super important to do that. It's really important. As I've said before, diversification, put your stuff out there, because if you don't have it out there, people are not going to be able to watch. And because of the fact that I think we're running a little bit low on time.
Yes. We're getting up there.
I want to give like some little pointers for brand new streamers, like people like the stuff that we've all gone through and the things that you will go through as a streamer. When it comes down to making it into a living, number one, don't be afraid to moderate your chat. Don't be afraid to kick people out, because those people are going to make the people that could be that could be supporting you not enjoy what you're doing, because you're having to deal with crap people. You know, not everybody who comes into your stream is going to be a wonderful being, and that's okay. And you get to choose who's in your boat. You get to choose who are the ones that are watching. If you don't want somebody to be a part of your channel, you can kick somebody out for whatever reason you want. It doesn't matter. It's your channel. It does not matter. Like, it's nice to be fair, of course, but if somebody is driving you up the freaking wall, and every day you're thinking about this person whenever you're offline, it's probably better just to get them out. Yeah. And don't be afraid to do that.
Yeah. And I think to expand on that real quick, because that is an important point, because I think a lot of people have anxiety over that because they don't want to disappoint people, like regardless of who it is. Like, that person, if they weren't supporting you in any way, in shape or form, you have an additional amount of people, like your true community that's there, that will have your back, that will totally understand and will be there for you and stuff. Like the one thing I mentioned in our first episode that people often miss is you want to have accountability. You want to have somebody that you can have, that you can go to and say, like, hey, I'm struggling with this is happening in my stream, like I just need some help, like somebody to talk to. Like, and the way I put it was, like, you want somebody that you can love that can also love you, so that you're not just doing this by yourself. And
speaking of that, the next thing that I would recommend is find a truly quality mod that you can trust. On Twitch, like, find somebody that, you know, they don't have to be there every day. Because like 99% of the mods on Twitch are unpaid, and they're doing it to help you, you know? Right. But whenever you find that one individual who is there for you, who might be a friend, and also, like, have shown themselves, like, the mod badges are not just flair. They're very important for the growth of your channel, because if you have a mod that is wild and just fights with people in your chat, you're not going to grow. I've seen that before. If you have an inflammatory mod, get rid of them, because that's just not good for growth, and not good for your mental space either, because you're going to have to deal with that individual. So, whenever it comes down to modding somebody on the channel, make sure that they're trustworthy, and make sure it's somebody that you have good rapport with, somebody that you can banter back and forth, because mods are just trolls that you trust. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's accurate. Yeah.
That's in Webster's dictionary. Just to be clear, it's there. Yeah.
But yeah, moderation is so important to for the growth of your channel, because it's just like pruning weeds. If you don't prune weeds, the entire garden is going to die. You know, like, you have to get rid of the weeds in the garden, and that's okay. That is okay. And I guess like the third thing, if you're trying to make this something that you want to do every day, make it something that you want to do every day. It's that easy. Have fun with what you're doing. And like, really, like, do it part-time to get started. Like, please do it part-time to get started, because you don't know after a month or 2 months if you want to continue doing this forever, you know, or for at least a little while, because everything's a stepping stone, right? I don't think I'm going to be drumming on the internet until I'm 81, but
Piano Pro Man, he's still going strong.
Bro, shout out to Piano Pro Man, dude. He's fantastic. I would love to, but I don't know if I'm going to be able to. So make every stream fun for you. Because if it's fun for you, then other people are going to have fun as well.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's actually, that's a really good note, I think, to end on there. Thanks again. Thanks again for being like a part of the coming on and
Absolutely.
giving everybody your advice. Is the 8BitDrummer once again for anybody who wants to check out their Twitch, because they are, to the 77% of you out there, they are a streamer. They stream. They're live on Twitch. You're gonna want to go give them a look, or check out the YouTube channel. Of course, you can go subscribe, drop a subscription over there. The content's really fun. I've been lurking your streams for like the last week or so, just like watching. It's a blast. It is so much fun. Just the vibe you've created is pretty good. So. Be sure to go check out that vibe. Yeah, of course. Do you have any final? I mean, I guess you just kind of gave your final thought, but any final thoughts or anything you want to share with the people listening?
Yeah. Good luck. And good luck with everything. And I wish y'all all the success in the world. I hope that everybody is able to find the success that they want, whatever that is. Yeah. I do. I just hope that people can find fulfillment in this life, because it's a crazy world out there. So have fun where you can.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Tim of Cameras, last thoughts, closing remarks, ideas?
Man. I mean, if I gave all my final thoughts, we'd be here for another hour. So I'll just
that'll be we'll have that as like a Patreon. We'll do it as like an exclusive. Like you get access to Tim's monologue at the end of every episode.
There's more monetization right there.
Yeah, provide value.
No, I think the all the stuff that we've talked about here. I mean, Jared, from me personally, I thank you so much for coming on to the show. I mean, just to see where you've come from, how much you've been able to really make this a business, really make this a career for yourself. It's inspiring for me to see, and just how happy you are to do it, and how happy you are to just see people there. It's inspiring for me for sure. And I think anybody that's doing any sort of content could learn so much from you. That's absolutely true.
I appreciate that, man. And if there's anybody who can vouch that I definitely started with nothing, it's Camera Tim, because he's one of the he has a founder badge in my channel, so he's been watching for years.
Yeah, what is it at 92 months?
92. Yeah, 92 months. We're pushing 100 months of
we're getting there.
of the craziness. But yeah, man, I appreciate all the support you've thrown, and I'm glad that you're still enjoying the content like 8 years later, dude.
I love it. It's so good.
Yeah, so thank you. That's the show for today. And it has been an absolute pleasure. Don't forget to follow StreamSix on the channels, Twitch, YouTube. Let us know on Discord as well, the StreamSix Discord server. Let us know what your thoughts are. Let us know about questions, feedback, thoughts, how you enjoyed the episode. And let us know what you think once you go check out the 8BitDrummer on YouTube or Twitch. Let us know what you think about what they've been able to do with content, or both. It's like, why not? Why not both? Porque no los dos. We'd love to hear your questions and thoughts on today's episode. Thank you so much once again, and we will see you next week for another episode of the StreamSix Academy Podcast. Peace out.